What's up, everybody? My name is Josh LaFleur from Late Start Piano. Today, we're going to be talking about the best book that new adult beginner piano players can use if they're not working with a teacher. So, this is for the self taught piano players. Again, you're an adult, you don't have any prior experience with the piano, you've never played before, you don't know how to read music, you just have no insight as to where you want to go. This is the best book that you can get. This is the all in one Alfred's Adult Beginner Piano Course. That's the cover. Alfred's All-in-One Adult Piano Book. They have a whole bunch of them, so make sure you get the all-in-one. The all-in-one talks about your theory, music theory. It talks about technique. It talks about reading music. And of course, you play pieces as well. So if you don't have a teacher, you don't have somebody who's kind of guiding you through what pieces you should be playing, you don't have somebody guiding you through the way you should be practicing, or someone who can teach you to read music, this book is the next best thing. A couple good things about this book. First of all, there are 3 different ones, so it systematically gets more and more difficult as you go. It's not like you are playing a super easy piece and then it jumps to a very difficult piece all in the same thing. It does get progressively more difficult as you go. And again, there's 3 different levels of this book, so it varies greatly. And the difficulty of the music that you'll be playing, even by the time you get to the end of the first book, you're going to be impressed with yourself, right? At the end of the first book, you're playing things like Over the Rainbow, you're playing The Entertainer, Amazing Grace, you're playing a couple other really famous songs, right? So even those few I just mentioned, Amazing Grace, The Entertainer, and Over the Rainbow. Those are 3 great beginner piano pieces that you can know and that you can use to basically play whenever you want for other people. And they're not, super basic either, where it's kind of like a joke, like a one note kind of melody as you go. At the end of the book, it's a lot more in depth and it sounds like a real song. I mean, you're playing chords in the left hand, you're playing the melody in the right hand, you're moving up and down the piano, you're playing with the black keys and the white keys, and there's a lot going on. You're playing with triplets and other maybe like 3, 4, 6, 8 time signatures. It might be kind of weird for you, right? So a lot going on, and that's at the end of the book. At the beginning, like I said, if you're brand new, it tells you literally how to read music. So it even tells you before that. It tells you how to sit down at the piano. It tells you how you should be warming up at the piano. It tells you what the names of the notes are at the piano. It tells you what fingers you should be using to play certain scales. It tells you how to read a quarter note, a half note, a whole note. It tells you about dotted quarter notes. It tells you about all kinds of different things, bass clef, treble clef, how to read chords, how to play a fourth, a fifth, and of course it has a lot of songs in it as well. So basically, it teaches you a concept in the method book. It teaches you a concept. Let's say you're learning about dotted quarter notes. So it explains to you what dotted quarter notes are. It explains to you how to count them. It explains why they're used. And then it gives you like 2 or 3 songs that you can implement dotted quarter notes in right after that. So it gives you the theory, it gives you the concept of it, and then you actually get to go hands-on with the thing that you just learned. So you can play, 2 or 3 songs that implement the dotted quarter notes so that you can actually implement again and get hands-on practice and experience with that specific technique. And it could be anything else. It could be something about triplets, right? So at the end of the book, you learn about triplets and you learn Amazing Grace. That's your piece that you're able to apply the theory to. Really good book. Again, if you're self-taught, if you don't have a teacher, you don't have somebody that can kind of help you and guide you through these things. The only downside of just working out of a book when you're self-taught is that you don't get any feedback. So if you're working with a teacher or you're in some kind of community online, you are able to get feedback on your playing and what it is that you're learning, right? You can kind of go back and forth with a teacher. Obviously, with a book, it's just printed material. You can't have a conversation with it. You can't really go back and forth with that. But everything else in the book is really great. It doesn't substitute a teacher. I would say the best combination you can do is if you get to use this book and you also get to work with a teacher to go through the book with you, because they can add a lot of other bits of information that the book might not be explaining. there's somebody there that can actually explain to you what they mean by certain concepts, right? And they can demonstrate the concepts for you, and they can just, there's someone there to bounce ideas off of as you're learning through the material. So ideally, you would want to do both. You'd want to have the book, and you would also want to have the teacher that you can bounce ideas off of. But if you don't have a teacher and you're just self-taught, you're completely alone, then just working out of a book like this would be the next best thing. And again, it talks a lot about the theory side as well, which is so good because it implements scales and how to play scales and different kinds of scales that you can use. So even if, again, you're brand new, it's not like you're just learning how to play songs, but you're also learning how these songs are constructed, why they work, and all of the music theory behind that as well. So a super good book. This is just level 1, so it gets more progressively difficult as you go. And once you get through this book, then you can go through level 2, level 3 of the book as well, or you can start to branch off and play other pieces that you really enjoy, other pieces that you are looking to get done. So with all that said, I do have a free guide on my website. It has 34 essential tips for the brand new adult beginner piano player. You do want that guide because we're going to be talking about your mindset and approach, practice strategies, more about music theory, and at the very end, we will walk you through your first song. To get that, link is below in the description. In addition, if you do want to max out your piano potential, then you need to have a teacher. I am offering lessons right now via Zoom one-on-one. To get started with those, send me an email, which is down below. We'll set up a day and a time that works best for you. Happy practicing. My name is Josh LaFleur with Late Start Piano.